Let's make the Yordle from League of Legends into a playable D&D race. I had to look at all the Yordles and boil them down to the core elements for this project. And that left me with 3 sub-races. The Brawler Yordle, this group includes Poppy, Kled, and Gnar. The Inventor Yordle, which includes Rumble, Tristana, Corki, Ziggs, and Heimerdinger. And lastly, the Mage category, which includes Kennen, Lulu, Vex, Teemo, Amumu, and Veigar. Sorry, Fizz, you'll have to sit this one out.
Not interested.
When creating a Yordle for your D&D party, you will have to take into consideration the fact that they crave social connection. So it would be easy for your Yordle to have the motivation to join an adventuring party. But just like Freerim, your Yordles will outlive all of their friends if they don't die in the dungeon first. This is due to the fact that Yordles are spirits and come into existence on a demiplane called the Bandle City. They do not age and they do not require air to live. So the only way that they can die is from unnatural causes. You know, the hazards of adventuring. In the lore of League of Legends, Yordles can't touch runic iron. Now, I'm not expecting people to add homebrew runic iron to their table, so I gave Yordles a debuff where, since they are not from the material plane, the combination of our forged steel and our magical runes creates something their spirit bodies can't handle, causing a shock to them. So any enchanted metal weapons or enchanted cages will deal force damage to the Yordle. If the weapon is enchanted, the damage will be on top of the damage of the weapon. The Yordle's appearance is between 1.5 feet to 2.5 feet tall, and almost all Yordles are covered in fur, varying in color. The male Yordles tend to have longer, more bushy hair than the females. And I created a table for you to roll on the color for your Yordle. Light blue for Vex and Poppy, yellow for Heimerdinger, brown for Ziggs and Teemo, purple for Tristana and Lulu, orange for Gnar, pink for Nora, dark blue for Rumble, and gray for Kled and Corki. Now that your Yordle has its appearance, let's talk about the base feature that all Yordles share. This race will have sub-races, similar to the Gnome or Elf. But in those cases, the base Gnome has a +2 to Dex, and each sub-race gets a +1 to another stat. But in this case, for the Yordles, I felt the sub-races was what defined the Yordles, seeing as Yordles can be pretty distinct. So the base Yordle will receive a +1 to its Dex. For its age, well, it doesn't. So how long it's been around just determines how much knowledge it has. Yordle's alignments. They're all mostly good aligned, but since they are social creatures, they could look up to someone that might stray them on the path of darkness.
I am evil! Stop laughing!
We covered the Yordle's size already, but in terms of the speed, I'm looking at other short races like gnomes and dwarfs, and they both have a speed of 25. So that's what I'm going to give the Yordles as well. All Yordles have long ears, giving them incredible hearing. Similar to the Loxodon's enhanced smell, we are going to give them advantage on perception, survival, and investigation checks that have to do with hearing. But Yordles have worse eyes than humans, so no dark vision for this race. Since they are spirits, they do not need to breathe. So drowning in the vacuum of space can't kill these furballs, but it can trap them for eternity. I did give them this debuff where if they touched enchanted steel, they'll take 1d6 force damage. I think having weaknesses always adds an extra cool flavor to a character. For languages, instead of saying they have a new Yordle language, I gave them Sylvan, the Fey language, since they are spirits, and Bandle City kind of feels like a sub-demi-plane of the Feywild. For sub-races, there's the Brawler, which gives them a +2 to strength, and a cool new feature called the Large Weapon Training, which gives these Yordles proficiency with heavy weapons. I never really liked the fact that small races can't use certain weapons, and this feature was heavily inspired by Poppy. They also get the Relentless Endurance feature from the Orc race. The Inventor Yordle. This gains a +2 to intelligence, perfect for those artificers, along with tool proficiency and the Tinkerer feat from the Rock Gnome subclass. For the Mage Yordle, I gave them a +2 to charisma for those warlocks, sorcerers, and bards. I was debating on giving it wisdom for the druids, but charisma made more sense for the other Yordles in this group. And they get advantage on magic saving throws with wisdom, intelligence, and charisma. They also gain 1 additional cantrip from the wizard spell list. The charisma is the spellcasting modifier. And that is a completely playable Yordle race, forged for your D&D 5e table. Please like and subscribe, and leave a comment on what race from pop culture I should do next. See you on the next one.